Ah,
All day.
all day, baby. All day.
Hold on.
All right.
Oh, nah, you good. You good. You
Yep.
good. Uh,
I'm here.
we here?
Yeah,
Wait a
we
I'm
can
minute.
here.
hear you, so that's good.
Wait a minute. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother in the house.
Son, so Lex, that's what's up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a divine guest in the house with us, Mr. Jerry Bell Jr. But before we get into that, we got to do some housekeeping. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon. Where else?
All your
Email.
major podcast platforms.
That too. Yeah. But you definitely email us at kingandi369@gmail.com. That's KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com for your comments and all that other good stuff. But we have a dope guest in here. He's no stranger to us, and he shouldn't be a stranger to you. Mr. Jerry Bell Jr. is in the house. Before we let you speak, you have established yourself as an award-winning independent film producer, director, and TV film star. Atlanta, Georgia native. You traveled most of your life as a military child and by serving in the Air Force for a number of years. As an acting talent, Jerry, you have performed in multiple national TV shows and commercials. We particularly know you from Mannheim, Germany, where we went to school. But most of the world knows you as the Swiffer Dad in the popular Swiffer commercial, along with your son, Jerry Bell III. Ladies and gentlemen, we would love to introduce you to Jerry Bell Jr.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, man, how are
Make our
you
own
doing
sound
today?
effects up in here.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
So I can
Ask
get the
your hands.
audience a little
Ask your
bit.
hands.
What's up, man? Appreciate the introduction, King.
Yeah, man.
Little bro. This is my little bro. Y'all my
Yeah.
little bros. Yeah.
For
How you
sure.
Right
doing
on.
today, though, man? How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm blessed. I'm here, Had a little struggle with the COVID though, back in
Man.
November.
Uh-huh.
And it hit me pretty hard, but God's blessings, I'm still here, man.
That's what's up.
Still
That's
here.
good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
good stuff.
So just alive and thriving, man. Just trying to turn around this industry because COVID affected the entertainment industry quite a bit, man. Brought it back to ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it gave me an opportunity to kind of reevaluate my path and just kind of lay out a new foundation, making steps forward in my career. So we'll see how things go, man. I'm just happy that things are picking back up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Right on.
So
How about you, man? Everything good? Life is good?
Yeah,
Everything's
man,
great? All right, right on.
life is good. Life is good, man. Yeah, we started this podcast in December after a year of, back and forth and, life and this, that, and the other, but kicked it off in December. We're doing pretty good out here. But, as with you, striving and definitely trying to get better.
Yeah. Life's a grind and life's a hustle. It seems like ups and
All day.
downs, life's challenges. Shout out to my man DMX.
Yeah.
He was an influencer for me. My mid-20s, man. I'm not that far from him as far as age. And all the success he's had, man, and just knowing that struggles he's had, in his life, man, and how it kind of caught up to him, kind of made me sad. But we just got to keep sticking together, man, supporting each other, educating each other as we get a little bit older.
That's it.
As young as you used to be, man. Take them blood pressure pills. You got high blood pressure. Take the blood pressure. If you're a naturopedic, you're into the natural stuff. Make sure you're taking that stuff too, man. Keep your blood pressure low.
Definitely.
Black man in this world, man. We got to kind of be on top of that and help educate each other.
Yeah, definitely. So, before we jump into the questions, so the three of us we met in Germany. I lived in the first building on Washington Street. Y'all lived in the third building. So growing up in Germany, let's talk to the people how that was for us, and it's particularly for you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I grew up mostly in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I'm from the SWAT, Southwest Atlanta. I grew up on Bankhead Avenue. And if you know anything about Atlanta, man, you know, you don't get Bankhead and Buckhead mixed up.
Yeah, they definitely do
Bankhead
that.
was straight with the hood, you know what I mean? Straight up hood. And that's where I grew up, man, right in the heart of Bankhead. And, you know, my dad traveled a lot. My mom and dad weren't together when I was a kid. So I spent most of my years with just my mom, you know, in the projects. And having the opportunity to go live with my dad after a while as I got a little older opened my eyes to a lot of things because I was just kind of isolated in my community and the limitations of what we had living in the hood. And so I go with my dad, man, he was stationed in Texas, went to Germany, and Germany was just a whole new perspective for me in life. And being out there with people, learning to trust your friends in school, people in school, you know, having a little bit more direct contact with people was pretty nice because where I come from, you had to always have your guards up. It felt like someone was always trying to get over on the necks, you know. And so I learned to kind of let my guards down and be a part of this big community we have, you know, military brats in Germany, you know, and it's good just to see how the legacy just keeps going on and on. Every other year or so, we get together for a reunion, bring all the brothers back, man. I think it's really important. So yeah, life to me was that was a game changer for me, and taught me how to just interact with all kinds of nationalities, ethnicities. You know, just the diversity of being in the military community on a military installation, going to school was just amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any like memorable times that you know that you sit back and be like, man, I remember that. Man, I wish I could go back to that.
I remember, man, I have so many of those memories, bro, and they pop up because I think my memory is getting bad. So I get like a little spot check in my dreams sometimes. Like, man, like I remember, you know, the big thing for me in Germany was hooping, playing basketball. That was my first love, man. I love playing basketball and getting out there. And I remember going to one of the first games I saw at BFV on the Benjamin Franklin Village. It was like going to a college game, you know, that's a high school varsity, you know, and I went to a game before I even started going to school. And I sat in the audience and just seeing the hype of the whole community come together, like they're going to watch a college basketball game or NBA game over there. So it was kind of the hype, you know, I wanted to be out there on the floor playing, you know, and then I got picked up on the team. And so I just remember those times. Those were the highlights for me. And hanging out after the fact, everybody getting together and just kicking it and having a good time. Then hanging out with my friends out there too, man. It's like a lot to do. Catching the train, Strasse all around Germany, renting cars, being able to rent a vehicle, you know, you know what I mean? Being able to rent a vehicle and drive anywhere I want to go as fast as I want to go down the Autobahn.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think I got like a million of these little stories, man, I can get into. I don't know how much time we got.
I know, right?
You know, a million of them, man. Yeah. You know, the little parties we used to have.
Oh man,
yeah. It's good times, man. And it's good just knowing, man. I appreciate how social media has allowed us to stay connected.
Oh, definitely.
Know, even over there, man, everybody go back to their little hubs, you know, back in the US, you know, and it kind of opened my eyes a little bit too to that, you know, and everyone started reaching out again, and then we started having these reunions. So it's been great, man.
Oh yeah,
it's been a great ride so far. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So before you got into acting, what was your career field? What were you doing before you got into acting?
Okay, I try to give you a brief rundown of life. You know, so after high school, leaving Germany, I wanted to play basketball. You know, I went back to Atlanta. We didn't get picked up. I didn't get picked up by a team or anything over in Germany. We weren't being seen, although we went undefeated class of '89. We went undefeated on the basketball team. We had dropped down to a AA conference. But anyway, I went back to Atlanta trying to get redshirted for a team. But the reality kicked in when I got back home because I went back to my mom, back to Bankhead. It was just straight street, man. And I was like, I got to do something. I'm not going to make it out here. So I joined the Air Force. Spent 8 years in the Air Force working on radar equipment, satellite equipment, went to school for that stuff. And the Air Force was a blessing to me too, because they paid for me to go to school, get my education. Got picked up by Intel. I was stationed in Florida when I left the military. I just got back from Korea, and then I went to Florida. And I was kind of in a paradise. I was in Cocoa Beach. The Air Force had this amazing housing I was staying in. I had an older son who's 27. His name was Devon. Mm-hmm. And so it's just me and him. And then I picked up a job with Intel out here in Oregon. And this is back in like a long time ago. I don't want to tell the how long ago it was. I want to know how old I am. I mean, a real actor don't tell his age. You got to guess it. Right. I wanted the audience to guess how old I am. Let's see. Let's see if we get anything. But yeah, from there, I worked on satellite equipment in the Air Force. Went to work for Intel as an engineer tech and became an engineer. And I worked as an engineer for Intel for years before I picked up a job working on contracts management and negotiations. So I negotiated contracts for Intel. And in between that time, I had traveled to Arizona, transferred to Arizona for a few years. And I came back to Oregon. And when I got back to Oregon, that's when I discovered the arts community. And then I realized, like, hey, man, like, I need to probably just kind of loosen up a little bit. Being an engineer, everything's structured. Yeah. And I kind of fell into the path of the arts, a little bit of theatrical arts in the beginning. But then I met someone who was into doing more film projects, and they encouraged me to get into that. The key words were, you have a great look. So my friend, she was like, hey, she worked for a casting agency. She was like, Jerry, man, you have a really good look. You should come do some work for us in some of my commercials. I was like, I ain't doing that. Like, I didn't want people judging me. You know what I mean? Like, right. I didn't want to go through that. She was like, you do good. And I never knew what having a good look meant. I still don't know what that means when it comes to the industry. I have an idea, but I don't really know for sure. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and she, it was one weekend. She hit me at the right time. She was like, hey, we got this commercial shoot this weekend, and we need someone bad, and she was like, you want to come do it? And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then she offered, told me how much she was going to pay me for 2 days of work, and I said, she said all I had to do was just smile all day, just be happy all day. And I knew how much they was paying me for this commercial, so I said, okay. And I was a rookie and just showed up on set. Mm-hmm. Didn't like it at first as much. I didn't like the work, but I enjoyed the experience of being on a film set and, working with the makeup artists, and they massaging my scalp, helping me relax. And I was getting frustrated and everyone just spoiling me on set. So that kind of got me interested a little bit more, want to know a little bit more about it, Okay. And there it was just like, yo, I want to try this. The rest kind of been history. I'm just been trying to build up my resume and continue working.
Okay, cool.
That's what's up. Yeah. According to IMDb, you have 69 actor, 13 producer, 5 stunts, 4 director credits, to name a few. For some not small accomplishments. How does that resonate with you, and how does it make you feel? I mean, when you look back on your career and you be like, dang, those are my credits. Like, how does that resonate with you?
Well, I mean, I think it's a perspective thing. I just know that, I've been in the hustle. I put in a lot of work to, to kind of get where I'm at. But I feel like I feel like there's not enough work. I feel like I can continue on. I feel like I can always do more. So I'm proud of those moments. There's some amazing moments in IMDb film credits that I have that the experiences have been overwhelming, and there's been some huge projects that have been national television, some movie spots, but and that don't even show the commercial work.
Right.
I probably got about a good 30 to 40 commercial credits under my belt.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it kind of just it makes me happy because I can look back over the past decade, which has been about since I've been into it, and see that I wasn't stagnant. I stayed on top of it, and I just kept the hustle and flow going with what I was passionate about, and I think that's what it is. It was the passion that got me there, and so it makes me feel good. I'm proud of it. I feel better when my friends reach out to me and say, "Man, like I'm impressed." But when you're in the grind, you kind of fall short of really realizing what you've done. Sometimes I think what you're capable of. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, man. Just looking at 69 actor credits, to me on the outside, that's a lot. But I definitely can relate to what you're saying. It doesn't feel like enough. Because with me publishing 3 books, a lot of people say, "Hey, that's a lot." To me, I'm like, "Well, that's only 3, and I've been writing since '97." So, I mean, I definitely get what you feel, but those accomplishments are, I mean, you get all the props for that, because just knowing what little I know as far as acting, producing, and all that, it's a lot that goes into that. So I mean that's congrats to you on that.
Thank you, man. Like I say, there's some moments in there. There's some big, huge credits in there that I'm pretty blessed to have even had the opportunity to be on some of the projects that I've been on. A lot of them, my early days were more independent film projects, low budget film projects, where it's not all about the money,
Right.
And so I was doing it out of passion in the beginning, and it didn't matter, what they had, what they were paying me. I was like, oh, I get to be on a project, I get to do some acting, I get to, just work on my art, and improve myself professionally. So, it created a lot of opportunities. But when I started getting the bigger projects that paid, it made it even better. Like, oh, okay, so I can make a living doing this, doing something I love to do. And that's really what got me. And that's what really makes me proud, those projects that have been able to do that for me.
All right. I was seeing a interview with PD Pablo yesterday, and he was talking about how his first album was more organic for him, and it made it more real for him, the success that came with that. He said only after, that accomplishment with his first album did it actually kind of turn into work. He said his passion was still there, but the work that came along with that kind of took away from him being able to enjoy it as much. Would you say that's true, or do you think that your passion is still just as great as it was from the beginning?
The passion is still there. I feel like I'm still grinding. Felt a little bit down, when the industry stopped due to COVID. All the opportunities just kind of went away. I had to walk away from some really good projects. They had to put on hold, and a lot of them just kind of fizzed out because of COVID. So that was very disappointing to me. But whenever the projects come along, I get really excited. I have gotten a little comfortable, and that's something else that happens. I think as an actor, in the grind, you got to get out there and just audition. You got to get out there and find opportunities and raise your hand and try to get in front of people and try to get on the projects. It's a hustle. Once people get to know you, then it kind of changes the game a little bit. And they call you like, hey, I want you to be on my project. And I found myself at one point just kind of turning projects down because in hindsight, I'm a single dad,
Right.
And, and I was working for, a huge company, a Fortune 500 company, as a senior level manager. So I had to juggle that, for a while, working a regular job and then being able to continue on my passion. So it was burning me out. That's why I had to step away. I left Intel to actually do it full time. Um, and the grind, the grind, the grind, the grind, the grind. To me, it still hasn't. I still haven't plateaued where I want to be, but
Mhm.
I do know that it pays off. And as far as being organic, as a talent on camera, my skills went up when I learned to kind of let go and not focus as much. And that's when the more organic I am as a person and understand that character, the better off the project ends up being.
Okay.
Wow.
So was acting something that you ever like growing up? Did you ever see yourself in front of the camera, behind the camera, or anywhere in that field?
Oh man, no, like not at all. I mean, like I was 38 years old when I, decided to go do this thing, and I wasn't into it. I didn't want to, it's about to me. It was about. Uh, I wouldn't say that I'm shy. I don't think I've ever been shy. Um, or maybe I was when I was younger, but it's more like being put on the spot.
Right. Yeah, I feel you.
The industry is like, in my mind, when you're on television, TV, and film, you had to have this perfect image,
Hmm.
whatever that means. And once I realized that, hey, like they like me for some reason, people like seeing me on camera for some reason. I don't think I'm the prettiest person in the world. I mean, I'm pretty, but I don't think I'm I ain't a beautiful, beautiful being. But I got to look. They say I got to look. So there's something there, right?
Right.
When I audition, man, I'll tell you what most people say. When I walk in the room, they like my smile.
Hmm.
That grabs a lot of people right away. You have a great smile. So I just start smiling more because it makes me feel good and it helps build my confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think whatever chemistry that flows through my veins and my blood, that builds my personality, my image, and how I'm perceived when I walk in the room, seems to grab people a lot. And I've learned that over the years. And I didn't have that kind of confidence to know that. But now I know when I walk in the room, man, some people just kind of pause a little bit, And so whatever it is, man, I accept it, and it helps me to accept it, be confident with it, and push forward. And so when I go audition and I got a panel of people looking at me trying to decide if I fit the characters, I don't even think twice about it now.
Mm.
Definitely. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember when we were growing up, man, there are two things I always remembered you for. And one was basketball, and two, like I said, you always had a good looking little female with you. Always. And that's like one of the things that I really remember and I appreciated about you letting me hang out with you.
Whatever, man.
Because it was for a little while there, it was like everywhere you saw Jerry, you saw me. Like I was his shadow, literally. So
Yeah.
I
I don't know,
appreciate it,
man.
bro.
I just, I mean, to that comment, man, it's like I've always kind of been had like a big brother, energy about me. Always looking out for people, people
Definitely.
a little bit younger than me, and I got a lot of people that can speak to that. Um, you know, taking people under my wing and helping them out, and I've always hoped that people would do that for me. When it came to the girls, yeah, you know, I'm probably gonna go down in history as, I'm not probably gonna say, man, that dude, he had good taste in women.
Oh
Definitely
man.
did. Definitely
Well, I don't
did.
know if they say that. I think they probably just say like, because I made some bad choices too. Don't get me wrong, but I just have there's something that where I'm just a little bit picky when it comes to girls I date, and it's not just the way they look though.
Hmm.
It's what's inside. But looking good don't hurt.
Right. Right.
No, it definitely don't.
Right. So we,
Yeah.
we had a comment from Lisa, who is also a brat, and she says, Jerry, the accomplishments you have made are to be proud of, and being able to share a little of your journey in life and how you got to those accomplishments and continuing your life's goals for not only yourself, but for others as well is awesome. Thank you for sharing your story, and I hope it reaches others and allows others to see positive possibilities in life, and that you have to work for what you want in life to accomplish goals and success.
Right on. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I agree. I agree with every word of that. And it's nice to be able to, share my story. And it feels good when people reach out to me and want to know whatever the element of the things I've achieved over the years, because people reach out for different things. I get people reach out to me about being a single father. The Swiffer commercial highlights a lot of what's real in my life. I think that's the most amazing project I've ever done because I wasn't acting. It was me and my son at our house. I didn't mop the floors like they had me mopping the floor though, but you know what I mean? But they had me, I didn't mop the floors like that, but I didn't know what a Swiffer was actually when they reached out to me. But
Oh, wow.
Just being a single dad, I've had people reach out to me, to kind of talk about that and share some of my successes, my challenges being a father, being a single dad, and some of the successes I've had. And I can say that I'm really proud, man, of I have two boys. One is 27 years old. He's living down in Dallas. He was in the Marines, and he owns a couple of businesses that are really successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a single dad with him too. He moved up with me when he was like 11 years old. He's that's when I was in the Air Force and whatnot. So and then my son now, I think is probably the one of the sweetest kids you ever meet. And it takes for you to meet him to understand that, because people they see him on television, they say, oh, he's a sweet kid, but you can't really tell. But when you see him, you're around him,
Definitely.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him in person a couple of times. He was at you brought him to that one reunion.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
He
We were in Atlanta.
was just real quiet, real just real cool, real cool dude, man.
Yeah, he's mellow, man. He's mellow.
Yeah.
He's interesting because it's like, when he was really young, I got him into acting, and his little career took off, and then he didn't want to do it for a while, and I never pushed it on him.
Right.
And he came back a couple of years ago, like, Dad, I want to do some more commercials. And he did. I said, you sure? He's like, yeah. So we started, I started helping him get more gigs, and he's been shining since. He was really shy when he was little. I just kept the cameras in his face. I always challenge his, whenever he's a little shy about stuff, I challenge him a little bit. I push him in different positions to kind of get him to get used to being up in front of people and talking to him and just being himself. And it's starting to pay off now. It's a lot easier when we go and do interviews and commercial work now. So
cool.
So the hard work's been a blessing, and that's a part of my hustle too, man. It's like I can, we're really good at telling our kids, hey, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree. Some families are good enough, or well off enough to go ahead and have the financial, stability to put their kids to college, right? Some parents do, a lot don't. And but so we like, hey, go to school, go to college, go to school, go to college, and a lot of Black families don't have the means or even the educational background to show them how to do it.
Right.
It was the rhetoric that I grew up in. My grandparents said, get a trade, learn a trade, and I was like, all right, learn a trade. I didn't know what the hell that meant, go to college. Couldn't nobody really tell me how to do that. So I was trying to play some basketball to pay for my college degree, but I could do that. I do it with my son, I talk to him, I've set myself up enough to where I can help him go to school. But I think the biggest gift I've given him is what I've learned over the past decade. And that's, being in the arts and accepting me who I am as an individual. Because as a performer, you got to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable with yourself. And having that confidence is hard to come by. And I don't think I really ever had that level of confidence until I got into the artwork.
Okay.
And I
Well, you
see it in him. So,
definitely had confidence when we were coming up. Because
yeah.
I don't remember there was a moment ever where I saw you like crack or feel like you weren't, in a comfortable position. It's
Yeah.
funny though, because I remember one time though, and I think we are in a gym somewhere. I'm not sure if we're at the high school or somewhere else. And I don't know if you remember, but there's these group of guys, they call themselves being in a little gang or whatever. And one of
Which
them
one?
fouled you.
Yeah, everybody had look.
One of them fouled you, and you're like, "What's up?" And the next thing you know, they gathered up, and you grab one of them, and the rest of them punked out. And I was like, "Dang, okay, all right." So it's kind of like you. I don't know. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 of them. It may have even been more, but you grabbed like the biggest one. I want to say, and you had him in kind of like a chokehold or something, and the rest of them like, okay. So that's pretty much how that ended right there. The next thing you know, we're all back playing basketball. But I've never seen you in a situation where you look like you weren't sure of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, when I was young, back in those days, man, I mean, I had just come off the streets, bro. And, I was in fights all the time. And I only weighed like a buck 5 back then, too. I was skinny. I'm a big dude now, man. I didn't have my size then. I was always getting fights,
Mm.
and then it seemed like when I got some size, I haven't been in fights so long, man. Because when I got bigger, don't nobody mess with you.
Right.
I'm not getting my butt whooped right now because I ain't been in a fight in like 20 years, something like that, 20
Oh
plus
man.
years. Don't nobody mess with me, especially when I put on that face. I get a little DMX in me.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
And then I started putting that face on, man. And you see me in the movies, man. Some of the shows, they hire me for that, they grind.
Mhm.
You gotta be hard.
Right. So
Yeah.
So we got another comment from another Brat, Cheryl, and she says, "Good evening, Jerry. I'm most impressed with your grind and your success. If someone else wanted to get into commercials or even TV, where would you tell them to start?" She has a 3-year-old grandson that needs to be put in print or on the big box, but most talent agents want to be paid, but nothing comes of it.
Oh yeah, that's a common story that you hear. What I've learned over the years is that if they want you to pay something up front, then they're not legit, or they're just hustling you for your money. If you get a legitimate agent, they make a commission off of the work they get you. So they're your agent. They're your broker. They're the ones that go and help you get the work. You shouldn't have to pay anybody anything up front. The only thing you should be paying for is just take some decent headshots of your kid. You can get a good camera and take them yourself. Just understand the right angles that a lot of the agents look for, and take some good solid pictures of them. Having a good time, sad, just different emotions. Catch them in the right moment in the right time, and then go down and talk to an agent then. But a legitimate agent wouldn't be asking you for money up front. So it all depends on what location you're at too. Because I'm in Portland, Oregon right now, and I mean the representation for entertainment is very limited. Like Portland gets a little work here and there, but it's not like LA. It's not like Atlanta. In those cities, there's agents everywhere. Here, there's maybe 3 or 4, and you have thousands of people competing to be seen, to get the acknowledgement. Especially when it comes to kids, because everybody think their kids are beautiful. Everybody think their kids are amazing. And that's one of the first things I was taught too. Is just because I teach kids too. I teach them acting and whatnot, and I give little seminars on getting kids started in the industry through my son. He's been pretty successful, but one thing to come to grips is to really realize, like, is your kid like at that level?
Right.
Because we're all going to be biased, when it comes to our kids. That's the most
Right.
real thing to tell you. But look for an agent in the community you're in. Find an agent and they would tell you, they say, hey, well, you should go get these headshots from this place, and they want $200 for the headshots. Take a look on their website and go take your own pictures, and then show up with your own pictures of your child. That's for modeling. And when you get into commercial work, then then it's all about discipline. Like, how well do your kid listen? Because if your kid's beautiful, they want him for the shoot. If they're not behaved, they can't follow simple directions, then they're not going to deal with them. So that's another big challenge, for a lot of people trying to get their kids in the industry, because even though their kids, they're beautiful kids, it's like they don't listen, or, a lot of crying on set. Time is money.
Mm-hmm.
Time is money. And on those sets, their projects are won pretty tight. So usually the ones with the best behavior are the ones that are successful.
Wow, that's solid advice right there.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to know more, let me know. I do little acting seminars, acting classes. I do individual coaching. Just reach out to me. I think they're gonna leave my contact information after this. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in terms of getting noticed, how much did the Swiffer commercial impact your career?
Oh, Swiffer was amazing. That's like, to me, that's the claim to fame for me. I hope it's not the all of end all.
Right.
I've had a couple other good projects, some very recent ones, but the Swiffer was monumental because it was a national commercial ad that played on 90 different networks, every day, over 100 times a day. And then expanded into a print ad where there were billboards in certain cities of me and my son. You fly and drive through, you'll see me on a billboard. Or if you go through an apartment store and you see a life-size image of me, Swiffering. It was monumental, and it was huge because it was kind of over a lot of our heads out here in this community, because no one had seen a project at that level.
Mm-hmm.
My agent, couldn't even wrap her hands around everything that was happening in the moment. She calling me, asking me, what happened now? What's going on now? I'm like, well, how much should they be paying me to have they had those little flyers that went out in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Those like in everybody's mail on Sunday newspapers.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much should I be getting paid for that? They say, hey, we're gonna give you X amount thousands for every 10,000 we print. And I didn't know, and my agents didn't know like how much we should be charging. So I'll say that Swiffer ad kind of opened my eyes to what it's really like to kind of be known, and be seen. And a lot of the projects that were reaching out for actors got a good feel for who I am as a person, an individual, and that drew them to me too. So yeah, Swiffer was huge. It wasn't. I don't consider it an acting gig. I consider it like a reality commercial, in a sense, and that's what kind of got me a lot of the popularity that I got.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah. So that Swiffer commercial was huge. I remember the first time I saw that commercial, I was with a group of friends, and I was like, yo, I know that dude. I went to school with him. It was like, man, whatever, man, get out of here. And I immediately went on Facebook and said, see, I know him. I told you I know him. And they was like, what? Where you know him from? I was like, we went to school in Germany.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's I was blown away to see myself on TV, And then it's funny because they paid us. It's like the most money I made like in a gig off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
They come in and that day I got paid. I was happy. I was like, oh man, that's cool. And I didn't know how big it was gonna be. I just know people started calling me in the New York area, hey, hey, see you on TV. I was like, cool, and I was getting this little check here and there. I'm good, like, yeah, like, and then, but that was before it even released nationally. They did like a test market for a while. And it was like, they came back and it was like, hey, once you sign this, about to go national. I was like, oh, okay, I thought I was already national.
Wow.
And then there, it was everywhere. I couldn't even get on the plane with my
Mm,
son without people having me ask for autographs. And it wasn't. I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing ride, but the ride don't last that long, man, because
mm,
it ran for years, which
Uh-huh.
most cats don't run like that. It ran longer than it normally would. It ran like that would, but it's like the industry is up and it's down. It's up and it's
mm.
down. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy that I've been given a lot of different opportunities through that. And and I almost think half of the opportunities I get to this day, whenever it's me and my son, that it comes from that. It stems from that. I was on a project with Terry Bradshaw
Wow.
uh, for the Super Bowl, not this past one, not the COVID Super Bowl, but the one before that.
Uh-huh.
And just being on that project, uh, you know, it got popularity. I wasn't like the forerunner of it all, but it got popularity, and seeing that on the Super Bowl, and then my commercial came on at one point. The old Swift commercial came at one point. I was just really surprised, to even see it still running.
Yeah.
As an actor, they don't even tell you like where it's running. Like it's running somewhere. I get royalties,
Hmm.
so I get a check, and I don't know. I have no idea where that thing's playing these days. I never see it.
Wow.
Some people say they see it, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
I know it's on YouTube.
Is it okay? Yeah, yeah. Well, it is on YouTube for sure. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you talked about the grind and as far as getting in and staying consistent and all that. At what point did you or do you feel established in the film industry?
Um. Well, I feel established when people call me for projects versus having to go in and audition for them. Someone's really interested, or it's not that they call me because they're still going to have you audition to make sure they're making the right decision. But
Right.
when people are reaching out to you, that's when I kind of feel like I made it, somewhat. When while everyone else in the world like have these ambitions and these dreams of being on camera, and being in TV, and for most people, it's a dream and ambition, and it's really hard to accomplish. Uh, but when I have people calling me, there's people out there starving, trying to get into the industry, and then here I am, like people give me a call, hey, I really like you, try for this part. That makes me feel established.
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
Um,
makes sense.
but I'm not established like I want to be. I want to be established like Denzel, where they call him up, hey, you got the part. What's up? Show up on this day. Here's $20 million. That's what I want. That'd be great.
I'm sure.
They sending me to like waiting on me to make the decision if I'm gonna do it or not.
Right, right, right.
That right there would be something.
Heck yeah.
Before you ask the question, we got another one. Cheryl wants to know: is there a special project, dream, or goal you're still reaching for?
Oh yeah. Well, and it shifted over the years. At first it was just I want to be famous. I just want to be famous. I want to be in the big movies, big blockbuster movies and whatnot.
All right.
But as reality started kicking in a little bit, I started to kind of tone down and realize and recognize where my strength and my worth is. And one is just to be memorized for the work I've done, and people understanding, how I put in the hustle and accomplish as much as I have. That to me is big, and I want to stay busy in the industry, just enough to make a living, live comfortably doing it, and staying healthy enough to do it, and also spread the wealth. Like I said, I teach classes here locally on acting. I like working with kids, so I do a whole lot of stuff with kids. My son kind of pulled that out of me.
Mhm.
Otherwise, being on a platform with Denzel would be great. Some of my favorite actors. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's great. Robert De Niro, Samuel. I've had a chance to be on some projects with some stars, but they're stars that other people know. I get in trouble because I don't keep up. Like when I do the auditions for different roles and they start talking about the lead and the stars, like half the time I don't even know who they be talking about, man. I've always like that, and it's not an arrogance thing. It's just more like, I guess I'm not starstruck.
Right.
Let Denzel walk up in there and then see what I do.
That's a whole different ballgame.
I'm going to use him as an example. It's like there's other stars out there that I really look up to. I love to work with. I think it'd be great just to go out. I want to do something like dramatic. I love to be in something at the level of Color Purple. Just being there. I don't have to be the star. I can be like Harpo or somebody.
Right.
Or the Avengers. I'd be the Avengers. I ain't got to be like Iron Man. I could be like, what's the dude? The big dude, Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't even know his name, but he's become big time.
Oh yeah, Batista.
Yeah, the wrestler.
Yeah, man, that dude, he's good. He's good. Yeah. So yeah, something like that come along, man. I love it. What's up, bro? You want to come in here real quick? That's my son in here interrupting the flow. Okay. Anyway, sorry, y'all. This is my son interrupting. You guys want to get him on here real quick while he's here?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Yeah, let's do that.
Ask him a few.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, little JB is about to jump in here real quick.
Yeah. Go around the other side. I think he'd be, let's see here.
Yeah, there it is.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, just chilling.
All right.
He's doing this VR stuff, right? Yeah, he's doing VR stuff.
Cool. So, Mr. Little JB, how do you like acting?
It's fun. It's cool. It's like, I should really know. It's fun acting.
What's the most fun thing you like to do on set? What you enjoy most about being on set?
I like to meet new people and know them more while acting. And acting, whenever you're doing it with them, it's kind of fun. And when you have the breaks, you could also talk to them and get to know them more.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll keep acting in the future?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I'll keep on acting because
the money. You always talk about the money. Yeah, he like that money, man. He's always talking about the dollar, how much I'm gonna make. That kind of decides, like, determine the factor if he's gonna be into it or not. But he's done a lot of modeling stuff. They use him as a demo model for years because he's got this
the look.
He got the look, but there's a ratio thing where his size, like he fits in the perfect 50 percentile. I don't even know about kids coming up. They're like, hey, your kid's an 80% out there. He's growing faster than normal. Well, he's like leveled at the 50th percentile for years. So when they're making clothes for kids, he go in and put the clothes on. They'll make them exactly around his size.
Oh, wow.
He did that for years. Yeah, he was making like a constant paycheck from that. You remember that? He was getting money almost every week.
Yeah, they look like, yeah. I remember that.
Stop counting my dollars. So we got an audience question for you. Cheryl says, "Hey, Little King, is there anything you don't like about acting or modeling? Anything that bothers you at all?"
The thing that bothers me a lot is that sometimes when I fail a lot over and over again, it gets irritating.
Hey, you sound like us when we fail a lot.
You don't like, that's something else in the industry, Cheryl, is that with kids, and I was talking about behavior, one thing, and you gotta have kids that got a lot of patience because it's very much repetitious. It's like a lot of repetition. Do it again, reset, action. Not good enough. Make this adjustment. Don't say it like this, say it like that. Don't turn your head this way, turn that way. It's going. And so that's something to keep in mind too for your kids. Don't pick your toes.
Okay.
All right. We'll ask you one last one. We know you got bigger and better things to do.
You on that? What are you on? Fortnite?
Minecraft.
You know that Minecraft?
Oh man.
So, how does it make you feel when you're out in public and people recognize you?
Not it. It's funny because normally a lot of people don't really recognize me, except for this one time when I was with my grandma and somebody just recognized me and they're just like, "Hey, JB," and all that, and I was like, I didn't tell at all. And I was like, okay.
That was funny.
That it was. Wow.
The thing is, like as he's gotten older, you can see how big he's gotten now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing too. Is like when we're together, it stands out to people, but when we're not, it's like I don't think he's as recognized, but I also know that he's changed a lot, he's grown a lot, and so things have slowed down some for him. But yeah, there was a time where he don't know if you remember this when we were on the plane and people came up and said hi. So I asked for your autograph and you like got real scared. That was our first real big experience.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Hey, good stuff. Keep it up, because you're doing really good. I like the commercial about Be a Kind Tree. I just watched that the other day. I really like that.
Yeah. Tell them about that experience.
Oh, a lot of times, that one really, like, every single time I would do something, it would, like, good, but they'll keep on resetting it over and over again. The first scene was really hard for me because the one where I was looking at the tree, that was super hard because my feet were like freezing and everything, and I had to like take off my coat and I was like super cold.
So what he's saying is
You could say that.
it's not an amusement. It's not like that project was outdoors and it was freezing. And we were on set like what time? Like 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. We got there early. He was the star of the whole thing. And so it's like he didn't get to rest much while we got to sit back and relax here and there.
Yeah.
But it was cold and there was a lot of like him looking up at the tree. His neck was bothering him a lot. They kept wanting him to do more. And by the end of the day, he's really tired on his feet because we walked. Basically, we were doing a walking commercial where we walked these trails. So that experience was like probably was that the worst one you had? Worst experience you had?
Probably.
How about the Amazon commercial you did? And you got to make toys and.
Oh, that was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I bet that was.
So do it make you nervous to work? Like when you're on a project and you're working with your dad, does it make you a little bit nervous when he's there, or do it put you more at ease?
It's actually better rather than nervous because he's actually there to help me if I fail or something.
I wouldn't use the word fail. He gets hard down on himself when he make a mistake, like more than anybody else. But I think the chemistry, what I've done with him, I'm more of a coach when I'm on set when he's like up in front. And a lot of times, like, and that's something else too with the industry when it comes to kids, like you want some of those directors don't even know how to work with kids. You
Right.
know, how to communicate them, how to get them, get them to do what you want them to do. So a lot of times I end up coming to the forefront, and they call me in too. They be like, hey, can you come help us get Jerry to do this, or to make him feel a certain way? And I like kind of. That's why I'm glad I got some directing background. I got to get to stand behind that and help them out a little bit, communicate with them. So yeah, I see a big difference when I'm there helping them.
Mm-hmm.
He's just by himself, and it depends on the director.
Okay. Well, Cheryl says to little JB, you have the personality to go far for sure. Your dad has showed you if you dream it, you can achieve it. And don't be afraid of failure. Failures are opportunities for us to learn to do even better.
Well
Right on,
said.
Cheryl.
Well
Thank you so
said.
much. Yeah, Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl might have to be my number one fan or something. I might have become your fan. Cheryl, yeah, right on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Lisa says, keep up the great work, little JB.
What you say?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
He definitely has a screen presence. I mean, just right now, you can definitely tell he has that spark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm embarrassed a little bit. Y'all see this? He's becoming independent now. And he wouldn't even try to cut his own hair.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
He snuck into a bathroom and got the clippers. I think we all done that at one point.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why he kept looking this way.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all done it.
I think he just bailed out too. So
That's cool. Yeah, me and my sister, my older sister, I took an self-teaching cutting class, and I cut some of her braids when we were kids. So luckily, it grew back.
Man. Cool, man. Yeah. Things that like as far as the industry, it's starting to pick back up some, and we've done a little work. Just like he got that big ad that's out. I think that's going to be huge. It just came out. It's going to be national. It's showing different places. I'm getting calls now, and they did a lot of print work. So I believe it's going to be, and they don't tell you a whole lot, but I believe it's going to end up in magazines. Some of the print work, you probably see us in that, and probably see us on a couple billboards here and there. So I think that's going to be a pretty big ad. And then I got one ad that came out. I ain't gonna tell you. I did some underwear modeling. It was like a big risk. It was a big risk on my part, and I regret doing it. So it's out there. I ain't gonna tell you which underwear and nothing like that. But I'm working on like trying to keep that suppressed. Actually, I need to be promoting it, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna let it resonate with me for a little while and see how I feel.
Right.
I feel mixed emotions on it right now.
Yeah.
So we got a comment from our sister Cassandra, and she says, "Hey JB, congratulations on all your success. Not sure if you answered this already, but how did you end up getting involved in the Winemakers documentary? Are you planning to do more projects like that?"
Right on. That's a good question because so my career, like I got into the acting, it was fun, but at the same time, I still have a business background. Working for a big company, I worked on a lot of different projects, and filmmaking is not easy. Some people got it, they got it down, they're good at it, and some people aren't. And some of the projects I was on, like I wasn't really satisfied with the way they produced it and how they managed the resources to make it happen. So I decided to kind of get into my own. That's what this JB Jr. Productions t-shirt is. I started my own company a few years back producing film. And I'd done a couple narrative projects. I'd never done a documentary. But one of my buddies out here in Oregon, I knew him before he started making wine. He was working at the sake place. It's one place that makes sake, the Japanese wine.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Sake, we were at the sake place, and just bumped into him one day. He said, "Hey man, I've been following your successes, man. You know, I see you producing." He said, you want to make a documentary on wine, about me making wine." And I didn't think much about it. I was really looking for any project I can work on to start off with as a producer, especially for a feature length long film. And so I took it on, and it took off. It took off, and it was so much fun because I will say the benefit of directing a wine documentary is you drink a lot of wine. I wasn't into wine like that either, man. I wasn't into wine.
Mm-hmm.
It was like with this wine documentary, I'm like, okay, and I had to learn the industry. So it's almost like I went and got a degree in wine,
Wow.
making a movie. That's the experience, right? It's like here you are making a movie, but you got to learn. If you're gonna make a documentary, you got to know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Learn the business, and I got to go out and learn the business. And I'm pretty well known here in the Oregon wine industry. It's huge out here, and I can go out wine tasting, and people bump into me, and I go home with a bottle of wine. So I got so much wine. I got so much wine right now. So that was a great experience. So yeah, it was through, to answer your question, it was through my buddy reaching out to me. He was documented as the first Black winemaker in Oregon because he wasn't really acknowledged until the film came out. Wow. And while making the film, we decided to focus around more minorities, because once I started learning more about the Oregon history and how jacked up it was and racist it was here in this region, then I understood my purpose. And so that kind of helped define my purpose in a lot of ways. And yeah, I hope to make more films like that. We were supposed to do an expanded version of it, reaching out beyond just Oregon nationally, but that got on hold. They got put on hold because of COVID. And I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. Everything's kind of just on standby right now.
So for those who haven't seen that documentary, where can they find it at?
It's on, let's see, redwhite-black.com. And I'll make sure you guys get the link. I don't know if you post it up anywhere, but
okay.
And it's redwhite-black.com. It's a link directly to the film site, and you can stream it. It's on Vimeo on demand.
Okay.
So we're self-distributing it. We decided not to go to at this right now. So far, we decided not to go the Netflix route or anything like that.
Right.
For now.
So, were there any times or any point in your career where you got so discouraged that you felt like you wanted to give up? And if there was, what kept you going?
I feel like, in this business, you got to be able to handle rejection. Actors are the most rejected people in the world. I don't know if people know that, but you get called in for auditions, and you go in and you don't get the gig. And there was a time when I felt like I was on top, and I go audition, and I was booking a lot of gigs. I was getting a lot of projects. Mm-hmm. And then you hit a slump where it's like, man, like, am I not good enough? I'm not good enough. And you start to question yourself. And it took me to understand that. I had to kind of step behind the camera to understand that. But it was a point in time before, as an actor, I didn't know much about being behind the camera. Right. To understand what people look for in different scenarios. And the best thing to do is just kind of free flow and be organic and believe in what you're presenting, right? 100%. They say 100% commit, and that's commit. Mm-hmm. I had to learn that, but yeah, I got discouraged, and it's like you got to kind of step outside the clouds a little bit and take a look, try to look inside and see what's going on. That's why I understood about this industry. So that's what kept me going, just having a better understanding. I shifted focus into making my own films, and it opened my eyes a lot, and then that made me come back even stronger.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is you wear so many different hats. So that I could definitely see how that can keep you in rotation. Like when one field is cold, you can jump to something else that's a little bit more, hotter at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does. And you know, it all kind of, it's like an avalanche, right? It all kinds of feed off each other to me.
Mhm.
Um, and you see a lot of actors or producers and directors. It expands your platform when you get out and do more.
Hmm.
And it's easy to work with actors who have some experience behind the camera because they can relate to what you need.
Right.
Right.
So my next question for you is: the pandemic has brought on an influx of skits done by a lot of YouTubers. Is that something that you ever thought of getting into?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The pandemic has brought on an influx of like comedy skits and stuff by YouTubers who, actors, comedians, and stuff like that. Is that something that you ever thought about getting into?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done some comedy actually. Um, I realized as I got into acting, I had to develop my skills. I wasn't an actor. I didn't have the background. I'm 38 years old, wanted to be an actor. And I started studying improv.
Hmm.
Improv is what kind of taught me to let go and let loose. And what I realized is I'm naturally funny. Like I don't have to really be. And I think most humans are naturally funny when they let go and be themselves in a
Right.
moment or situation. They're naturally funny. And I studied improv for 2 years. And I'll give you a real quick story how that went. It was, hey, I'm enjoying the acting stuff. I want to get a job doing this. I want to do more acting. Uh, People keep calling me to come do background work, right? And background was cool for a couple weeks, and then it's like, okay, I don't want to do this no more. I want to act. I want to be up in front of the camera.
Hmm.
All right, well, get an agent. Okay, I go out to get an agent, and the same thing. The lady's like, well, you got a good look, but you need to work on your acting. You need to work on loosening up. Because when I went to audition for my agent, she gave me a little script, and she said, "Here, read this." And I stood up proud and loud and read it word for word. Like, you know, like I was giving a speech, I read it word for word. And it was kind of a commercial, a comedic commercial. I was just reading it, right? And she
Hmm.
said, go study improv for 3 months and come back because you got a good look. I've heard that so many times. You got a good look.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
So I went and took an improv class. I didn't come back for like 2 years to the acting
Mm.
stuff. I fell in love with the class. I was having so much fun. But it was like therapy to me. But it teaches you to let go and just be yourself. Um, there was a point in time where, like this interview, I probably would have put on some fancy clothes and hooked up my background, just went all out the way to make sure everything's perfect.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's like, so I've learned to let go of that. I think I still have that Southern pride in my
Mm.
image somewhat, but it's nowhere near like it was. And so, but that's where I kind of fell into the comedy is through improv. And so I've done a couple skits when I was doing more independent films work, whatnot. Like people come in with these funny scripts. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. One good one you can look up is called Jive Genie. It's about a genie pimp. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I remember that. I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, yeah. That's old. That's
Yeah.
old. It's been out for a long time, but that was like, oh man, like we did that, and they didn't know what the hell. They wrote the script,
Uh-huh.
but they had their kind of idea what they wanted, but it's something that kind of manifested through me organically, and it was
Hmm.
funny. So
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and look at that because I remember you posting the pictures on Facebook for that project, and I was looking at it, I was like, he really do look like a pimp.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a pimp, but a genie. I got the big old, got big shoulders, the big fluffy shoulders, and I'm doing spells. So that was kind of fun.
Oh man.
Mm,
Yes, go check that out. Jive Genie.
Yeah,
definitely,
and
definitely.
that was an independent film. That was just a what they call a 48-hour competition.
Uh-huh.
So you had 48 hours to make a film. It wasn't even like the script was written over in a couple of hours. We had to shoot everything and have it done. And it won some awards for the competition, but it was really low budget. It was
Hmm.
like when I first got into acting, I was just happy to be on camera. But it turned out to be pretty funny. And then they turned around and wanted to do a feature film with it, a movie with it. And we shot a music video with Money B for Digital
Oh
Underground.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we saw. I got a music video. We don't have the rights to release it, but
Oh man.
Money B was in it, and they had eyes with Snoop Dogg. Them enjoyed the character, and they were talking about pushing it, but I don't know what ever happened to it after that.
Hmm.
Wow.
Who knows? You know, I hope they do something with it soon because I ain't getting no younger.
Right. Oh man.
I'm ready to play granddaddy role. You know.
Right.
What's good, Kevin? See Kevin pop up.
Yeah.
What's up, fam?
Have you ever or could you do a romantic scene?
Oh yeah, I've done that.
I see you scratch your head on that one.
How romantic we talking here? You know what I mean? Like
Hey, whatever romantic you did or
I've
open to
done
doing.
dinner in a movie kind of thing. Yeah, I've done those. Let's see. When it comes to this is my perspective on acting. See how to define it. Where you had to put out different emotions. So these days, I mean, years ago, it was, you had to be able to act, right? You got to act happy. You got to act sad. You got to act like you're in love. These days, the audience, because of technology and the audience demand, like they don't want to look for anything fake. You remember how, like, you remember those old movies? Like, I use the one Eddie Murphy used when he's like, in the old days, a girl get mad or whatever. How'd it go? Girl get mad and be like, "Hey, let me out the car." You know.
Oh yeah.
No, we're not having any of that. No, not having any of that. No. And dude, like, get out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, get out. Just take off. Right?
Oh man.
People want to see that. People want to see the realness of that, right?
Yeah.
You know, and understand how you feel about it in the moment. So, I'm trying to pull up the summary of what I'm trying to say, but today you have to be more organic. You can't be an actor. You got to be living it, So when you talk about romantic scenes, you can act like you're in love, but the audience will peel that away so fast these days. Years ago, you can get away with it. You can kiss, go kiss and then
the TV kiss.
Now you gotta be like all of them in there. They looking like, man, they dying to see the love, and you can't fake it.
Wow.
So you gotta learn how to be organic, and you gotta live in the moment. And I use method acting as a technique of, if I'm in love with somebody, then I'm in love with them in that moment of time. Like, I'm in love with them. And I go through my emotions, get my mind right for that. I pull back on a lot of my history of people I've been with in different situations, depending on the script, and I feed off that and push forward with that.
Okay.
But so to be romantic, to be in love, is being in love in that moment. I tell my ex-girl, like, hey, at a time, look, I got this scene, because I got one big scene. It was like a makeout scene. It was pretty intense. And it was my first time, it was my first experience. And I was just geared up for it, The girl was real cute, and I'm like, man, that helps. But it wasn't what I expected it though, man. It was just like, she first of all, and see, I ain't gotta worry about no names because nobody know what I'm talking about, but her breath was kicking.
Oh.
I was wondering, like, is she doing this on purpose? So I gave her some gum. You know what I mean? I was showing those Altoids. I had a couple of Altoids, and I was like, yo, you want an Altoid? And,
Oh man.
Hey guys, you gotta stand by. I got a little technical issue. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
All right.
Hope y'all enjoying this interview so far with
Yeah.
Jerry Bell Jr. He's a military brat. We went to school with him in Germany. Definitely getting his story out there and getting some laughs in and reconnecting. So far, so funny.
Definitely. It's
Yeah,
funny.
you can definitely find us on your preferred podcast platform. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, all that good stuff.
Definitely. You can always reach out at the kingni369@gmail.com.
Yes. And we are back.
Yeah, sorry about that, fellas.
No
Not
problem.
a problem. So if you could remake and star in any movie, what would it be?
A remake. Um, One of my favorite movies is Color Purple, man.
Yeah. Yes.
I just I like those period pieces, especially when they go out and they recreate it almost exactly like history put it out to be. Uh, and I mentioned it before because I was like, I'll play Harpo or someone that's in the background, but that's one of my favorite movies, man. Whoopi was a killer in it. Danny Glover, kind of bringing some of his characters back. I would probably enjoy more of a dramatic type film. The new Coming to America I thought was pretty good. To me, it was more just the surface of reinventing what they had using all the same actors. Which, by the way, I auditioned for that.
Oh wow!
Didn't get it. I was a little salty about it, but yeah, I auditioned for it.
Hey, I'd have been salty too.
Yeah, man.
It was just one or two scenes, but they cut the scenes in the final, so I probably would have been cut. So I probably been more upset if I got it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The part when the kid's scalping those tickets and those cops, you see these cops walking up to him, and then it looks like the cops about to approach him, then they cut it. If you pay attention to like the background a little bit, like some cops about to catch him, then they cut it. But it's supposed to be a big chase scene, and then I get tired. I'm chasing them, and I get tired and get burnt out, whatever. But I didn't get it.
Oh, so you'd have been a cop in there.
To be on that cast though, just to be with that entire cast, that just to be working.
Oh
with all the stars,
yeah,
man, so golden. That would have been amazing.
Yeah,
just for the experience alone. I mean, with you having that much actors and actresses on one set, the experience alone combined, I mean, you could have soaked up all of their knowledge or anything they were willing to share. So that would have been dope.
Yeah, man. And those experiences come around. Like when they promote, when they try to get actors on projects, the first thing they do is tell you who's on it. They start name dropping. Like, you can be on this set with this guy, and a lot of actors get all excited about it, I don't. I be looking at like the opportunity at hand, like overall. But unless it's Denzel, and then it's something else.
Denzel is the reference point.
He's my highlight of bar of an actor. He's accomplished so much, and I can only imagine his hustle in the early days. I read up on him a little bit, and he's accomplished a lot, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On legacy, and like Training Day, he was amazing in that. I think I could have pulled that off a little bit though. I would pull back some of that street knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Jake. I want my money, Jake. Let me get my money.
You could have did it, man. I totally
King
believe
Kong ain't got shit on me.
Shoot program.
Shoot program.
Oh man.
So are you flexible enough to work on short notice as a stand-in, or how quickly can you assume a new role? Like, if they called you today and said, "Hey, we need you tomorrow to play so and so and so and so," would you need like prep time, or you like, let me get in there and let me see what I can do?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a red flag to me if a production come to me like, "Hey, we need you tomorrow," unless they have a good excuse like that the main actor got sick or something bad happened or whatever. But they absolutely have to get someone in place. Mm-hmm. But as an actor, if it's a significant role, then they need to take their time and allow you to manifest into the character a little bit more. So short notice to be a stand-in, I probably wouldn't do that. You know, I'm a little bougie now as an actor. The best way to start acting is to do background stuff. To kind of, I suggest anybody want to get into acting, go volunteer, to go work the background, get paid, in the background, so you can understand the business a little bit more. But but once what they told me was that to be respected as an actor, you can't be doing background work. The actor, because you're in the background, you're a human prop in a way. Get that set experience is great, but to be respected, you want a camera in your face, and then let's see how you handle that with the camera in your face, and in a room with 30 people who the makeup artist just did put makeup on your face, and then the wardrobe lady just threw you in a costume, and then you're supposed to remember these lines and follow this blocking and do exactly what they want you to do. That's when the real skills come out. Not just, hey, walk across the camera when I give you a cue, or go grab a drink and walk off camera. So it's not as challenging with that, but to learn all the details and the etiquette of being on set, definitely do that. But they called me tomorrow and said, so a background actor, you can do that. You can be like, all I gotta do is clear my schedule. But if you call me tomorrow and you want me to play a role, and it's like, say it's one scene, there's 5 or 6 pages of dialogue, and I'm supposed to be a certain person doing a certain thing, it takes a little time to get there. You can't just read it and be there.
Right.
And embody the emotion they want you to have.
So, what is the most challenging thing about bringing a script to life?
As a filmmaker, it's everything. Filmmaking ain't easy. It's not easy. And if you do a feature film, I know if I'm gonna make a feature film as a director, if I got the budget, it boils down to budget, right? If you got the money, do it. So that's the first thing I do is get the money. And so that's probably the initial challenge, is having funding to do whatever the film is going to be. So let's say someone gave me $1 million. So I don't have to worry about that. I can go make a film. I can go hire some decent actors. You got to acquire locations, logistics of locations, the timing. Is it going to be in the summer? It's going to be in the winter. Do you have to go recreate the atmosphere? Do you have to create rain if it's supposed to be a rainy day? Or, if it's supposed to be sunny, you're going to shoot that day. Dynamics of the talent, what the talent schedule is like. It's all like the logistics of it. Finding the right location, the costume design, the set design, like especially period pieces. It's supposed to take place in, what's the movie? Judas and the Black Messiah, which is a pretty amazing movie. But the 60s and getting the haircuts down and all the artifacts and everything you see inside the houses of it's everything anyone can see on the camera, you have to go recreate. That's besides just the acting. So it's all challenging to recreate. Right? That's no question. It's all challenging. You get a good team of people that know what they're doing. That's pretty what I think it boils down to. Can't one person do it by himself? Can't take credit like that,
Yeah. So what do you love the most about acting?
Oh man, I'm like my son, man. Like when I first got into it, I was kind of telling you guys about my first commercial gig, where I got lucky in a way, because I hate to say lucky, but the guy, it was a Toyota commercial, was my first gig, and they paid a lot of money for me to shoot for 2 days, and I went on set, and it was just meeting new people, new experiences. Every project's different. And I'm very spontaneous like that. And I'm an explorer. So it's like, if you're not, if you like things to be the same, you like routine, this not the industry for you. Because one day you'll be in this location shooting here, on a nice sunny day, it was beautiful. You're on top of the mountain, looking at the beautiful atmosphere outside. The next day, you can be in rain and mud, laying in mud, pretty much. Being shot down, and I just enjoy the opportunities to expand beyond myself.
Okay.
So I get to step outside of Jerry Bell Jr. and be whoever they want me to be. And most of the time it's Jerry Bell Jr., but focus on from a different perspective.
Right.
I take every character I do is me, with a little bit more emphasis on whatever that character is supposed to be.
Okay.
So I'm kind of done that. But I enjoy that, stepping outside my own box. Probably the biggest thing is just the new experiences, meeting new people. Every project's different. So yeah, I enjoy that kind of stuff.
So what are your biggest accomplishments that you view as your biggest accomplishments in the field of acting?
Just exposing my son to this passion I have, whether he becomes passionate about it or not. Just being able to show him a different perspective on being successful. And that's why I was touching on earlier, like, instead of, hey, go to school, get education, go be successful. It's like, for him to go and be an artist. I just don't feel like there's enough emphasis in that. As kids are growing up, there are young kids who are into music, heavily into music, and they want to, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then the family's like, well, maybe you should go to school and be a doctor first. Being a rapper. And I have the confidence that dude's gonna be okay. He's gonna get a good job. But what I'm excited about is he's gonna be able to step beyond just who he is, and be able to have these rare opportunities that most people won't get. I've been in the city for some years now, and I know people been here all their lives, and I've been places that they've never been, never seen. Mm-hmm. On top of skyscrapers, shooting movies, and looking at Portland, Oregon from a place they've never seen.
Right.
And that to me is just pretty amazing. That can happen, and you need everybody in there to make it amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like we said, we know that you're a writer, we know you're a producer, we know you're an actor, we know you're a director. I mean, the list goes on. Out of all of those hats that you have skills in, which one do you prefer the most?
The acting. And just real quick, and I'm gonna elaborate on that question some more too, but probably the most important project to me was the Swiffer. To answer your question, King, I didn't finish answering your question. Mm-hmm. The Swiffer commercial is because, it's something I did with my son, and it's something that we have, a legacy we have together, and the world got to see, me and my son together, me being a father and him being a kid. That to me was the most important one. And people reaching out from everywhere. I had moms reaching out, asking for advice. On like the fathers, how do I get my man to focus more on this, focus more on that. It's crazy how much people take in from a little 30-second spot on TV.
Right.
It would amaze you. So yeah, that's my biggest accomplishment right there. I feel was the Swiffer. But the acting to me is that's where the passion really comes from. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make my own films. I do it. I can do it. I realized, I've proved myself I can make movies. I can make film. It's a project, it's work. And you got to be able to make sure, as a producer, you got to make every element of every angle happen. Everything you see, as I was just talking about, mm-hmm. As a director, your vision, you have to be able to communicate your vision and make sure everything's there that you want to see happen.
Right.
It's not a word. That to me is extremely stressful. Producing is extremely stressful. It takes like a feature-length film depends on your budget, how much money you got, how much you got to blow. It could take a couple years for a movie. A big blockbuster production with millions and millions of dollars still take, about a year to get done. So
Wow.
put that in perspective.
Right. So Cassandra says, have you encountered situations where you were excited to work with a well-known actor only to find out that she was difficult to work with or simply a jerk? I know that you can't mention them by name.
Yeah. I haven't had any bad experiences with some leads and actors. I've been on a couple of TV shows, and all the leads and the actors that I've been on those shows with, like we end up going after the set, after the shoot, and go out, hang out for dinner and drinks. So, yeah, I haven't had any bad experiences. Aldous, I don't know if you guys know Aldous Hodge. He and I became really good friends. This was before he really took off. He was on Leverage, that shot here in Oregon, and now he's in everything. What's the new one that came out? He's in the one with, I forgot the name of it. The one with Malcolm and Muhammad Ali. And,
One Night in Miami.
Yeah.
One Night in Miami. Yeah. So Aldous played Jim Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Brown, football player. Yeah. So he's been in so much since, this is like when I just get into acting, and he reached out to me. He's like, hey man, you want to go shoot pool sometime? I shot pool, and he just randomly called me up, to go shoot some pool. And I was like, okay. Hey babe, I gotta go. That's when I first get into acting. I'm like, man, you might hook me up with some gigs, but
right.
yeah, a lot of the actors I met myself, have been pretty cool and down to earth,
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're out there. I can see that. I can see, where some of the actors might get a little bit above themselves in some ways, or their focus on the people that are around them kind of falls out of focus. I can see that.
Okay. So Cheryl says, what has been your most challenging project?
That's a good question. Let's see. That's a good question. I could tell you that as a producer, not with the acting. Usually the challenges with acting would be more of terrain, like where I'm shooting, what time of night. We got this Friday 13th fan film coming out right now, called Jason Rising. And I came into this project, I didn't realize what level it was going to be, but I think it's the next best thing to early on Jason films that's going to get these days. Because the franchise stopped. They stopped making the Jason movies. Yeah. And so now they leave it up to the fans. And these fan films are kind of taking off right now because you have fans that want to see it, that's got money. They're like, hey, they find a production company that's really good at making movies. Like, go make us a new movie. Mm-hmm. Right. Jason Rising, which is kind of like I ain't gonna say it's a dream come true because I never thought about fighting Jason, but I'll be fighting Jason in this movie. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man,
it looks and feels, and the whole atmosphere feels that way. It's cringing in a sense, and so it was challenging for me to go shoot in the woods in the middle of the night while it's freezing. In the dark, just even with the crew, like I was like, like we're in the middle of nowhere, and I had to walk back to the tent. I walked back to the base camp with a flashlight in the middle of the dark. I was recreating Jason and blood everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm thinking like, man, Jason might be out here for real. Usually, like the challenges, like the environment, like shooting at night like that. Like I'm on the ground in the cold, on the ground, and they trying to keep me warm, cut, and then trying to wrap me up, give me hand warmers and whatnot, and then action. I can't be cold. I can't act cold. It's like can't be. It's like it's not cold, and So I think more the environment and terrain sometimes are the most challenging, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jason Rising, which is coming out in June. I'm really proud of that project. And they got like some heavy hitters in there in the movie. And I can't tell you, they're not gonna disclose it. They want to surprise the fans with some of the people, but that's gonna be a good one to watch if you like scary movies. And you can see the trailer. The trailer looks amazing.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely check that out.
But the rest of the projects I've been in, most of the projects I've been on have been just amazing. I find myself on mountaintops, along riverfronts, hanging out, eating good food, laughing and joking, until until they yell action. So,
Cool. So, with your experiences in front and behind the camera, in your opinion, what is the most important quality of a director?
Communication. You got to be able to, as a director, everyone's there on set to recreate your vision. So the writer, may have a script and he has a vision of what he wants to see. The director has to be able to communicate with the writer to fully understand the story. But then the director also gets the opportunity of just kind of pulling it together and adding its own little twist and flavor to it and the feel a little bit. So the director gets to have a lot of influence on the final, but then you have to go out and communicate that to every person on set, every crew member, the actors, every actor's part, the prospective actor, all the crew, like the makeup artist, like, hey, I want his makeup to look this way. I want to have more of a bluish tint to his skin, like the color tones in the background, how you want it to feel, the lighting, how much lighting you want in a given situation, the wardrobe, hey, send out these pictures of what I like. But the emotional aspect of communicating with the actors and being able to help them get to where they need to go is probably, I think, the most important. And I think some of the best directors are the ones who were actors at some point in time.
Okay. So, for those of us that know you from our teenage years, you're a star.
Definitely.
Do you feel like a star? And how hard was it adjusting to random people running up to you for pictures and autographs? Did it really take a lot of adjustment for that?
I don't consider myself a star. I consider myself as known, as well known. I've made an impression to a lot of people. A lot of people see me. A lot of people know who I am. So I call it that. I wouldn't call myself a star. The adjustment wasn't hard because I do have a certain confidence. I've always had a certain confidence of how I carry myself and how I am around people. So when I started getting more attention, it was just easy for me to just kind of step it up. And like when people ask me for autographs, at first I thought they were being funny. Like, really? Go get the pen. Don't go anywhere, And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just keep doing what I'm doing. And then they come back, and want an autograph. And so I'm like, yeah, sure. At first, the confidence level of that, it took a little minute, It's like, people want my autograph, Little Jerry don't remember, but I had to teach him how to sign an autograph.
Oh, wow.
People were coming with Swiffers. Like, they go buy a Swiffer.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
I see your picture, man. His autograph, man. I posted it one time, so he got his autograph down now, but he signed the autograph. And with him, you got to realize he was like 4 years old when that Swiffer commercial was made.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it now, and in 5 years to them is like a lifetime, And so when he's saying like, when he's saying he don't remember, like people coming up to him, I'm like, dude, he was traumatized.
Wow.
I was shocked. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? People just like that commercial, man. They just really loved it, and but yeah, see, because I didn't change. I haven't changed. I haven't changed at all. Actually, I think I'm more humble than I've ever been
Mm-hmm.
now, through understanding who I am and what the power I have within me, to give. And so, I feel like I'm more organic than ever. Even my
Right.
conversation right now is like, it's just a conversation with my homies from high school,
Right.
and I know there's an audience out there listening and whatnot. That's in the back of my head,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I'm thinking about a conversation I'm having, and then everybody get to see us have a conversation.
Right.
So it's an amazing ride, man. It's like I wish everybody can just get out there and experience some stuff like this at some point in their lives. Go find a local theater group and do a little stage acting, or go and try to get on some commercial work. But when you get to step outside your everyday own lifestyle, man, to me it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, dog. As my son says. Yeah, dog. That's a new thing, man. That dude. But yeah, man, most of my time, bro, is like, he's homeschooling,
Mm-hmm.
So I've been at home dealing with that, and being a dad while the projects were slow, and
Yeah.
so I've had the kind of the blessing just to be able to spend as much time as I've been able to with him over the past, year. And that's when I call it like the COVID kind of the gift and the curse sometimes. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's sad that a lot of people dying and passing away,
Yeah.
but kind of it's brought a lot of people's families together. It separated some families too.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of the situation has been exposed, and but when I'm going, man, I need to get somewhere. Like I'm there, I wasn't dealing with traffic. It started to pick back up now, which I ain't too happy about that. You know what I mean?
I
But
feel you.
yeah, it's like where you need to go, man. Run in the store, grab what you need to get up out of there, man. It's been pretty good, a lot of comedians, they use that one. They talk a lot about the school shootings, how that stopped, and now you're seeing all this stuff pick back up.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's tough, but that's kind of like with this in this industry. It's been amazing, and it's been a gift to me as far as I'm concerned. I feel like if I stop tomorrow, I'd be happy. I have something to share, a story to share with my grandkids at some point
Yeah.
of things I've accomplished. I feel like I still have a long way to go, and I'm still pushing for that. And I just want to be, a face on television that people recognize, on the regular. That'd be nice. And I've never been in a TV show. I haven't gotten a recurring role on a TV show. But my understanding of the industry is like commercials. You get a national level commercial, what they call a grade A national, like the
Mm-hmm.
Swiffer, you make more money than you would in a whole season on a TV show. And
Oh wow.
commercial work is where the ads and commercial work is where the money's. If it's about money, that's where the money's at.
Mm.
Difference is in commercials, you don't have to be able to act that much. It's like quick. Most of the time, it's like little quick shots of you doing something, and then they on to somebody else. The Swift commercial is one of the unique ones because it's all about me and him.
Right.
Yeah.
Swift, right? And I do all the talking. Most commercials, they got someone else doing voiceover, and they clicking back and forth between scenes. So you don't need a whole lot of talent to be a good commercial actor. Talent is when you get up there and you have to, live in a situation to be someone else
Right.
for a whole movie.
Mm. I know a lot of people probably don't know that you was on the show Grimm. How was your experience with that show?
Grimm was amazing because I had just really kind of crossed over into acting when Grimm came out, shooting here. So I'm on like 4 different episodes as different people almost. I got into stunts. I didn't know about stunt work. They wanted me to be a beast, and they put me in this makeup. You don't know it's me, and I'm beating up this other monster. In one of the scenes, another scene is I'm like some bison beast in a bar with one of the main stars, and I kind of give him some, like some negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, it was like they called that a featured extra position, right? Where it's like the camera's in your face,
Right.
and you got to be a kind of emotion. So that was good. I did a couple other scenes.
Where you was the cop in the in the container.
Yeah, was that Grim? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
season
oh,
2,
yeah, that was
episode
Grim, yeah.
1.
Yeah, I was cop in the container, yeah. That's
That was
right.
season 2, episode 1.
Season 2, episode 1. Yeah, I gotta see that again. And then the thing about the TV stuff, man, make me mad is like, I'm not like a big time player. I wasn't a big time player on those TV shows. So I only get a couple scenes. When they start cutting your scenes, man, you get salty as an actor. Like, man, I put in all that work. I was like, yeah, Grim was a lot of fun. And I met one of my favorite camera guys, Gary, man. I see him on everything now, He reached out to me. He said, hey, man, like, I think you'd be good for this project. I'm going to talk to the director, So the connections are unreal. And Grim was a lot of fun. My favorite TV show episode was that Z Nation show when I played a prisoner and the monster kills me. The zombies kill me in the end. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Well, man, we know that you gotta go, but I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit here. Back then, you were in a singing group. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to go with you when you would go to practice, and it would be so funny because I call myself trying to be a little rapper, and you and these guys were singers. And then when I got in there and I realized you guys actually sounded good, I was like, you know what? F that rapping. I want to sing. But man, that jump, it was so much fun going with you to those practice sessions, man. I still remember them. And I want to say the lead singer, I can't remember his name, but I know he was the shortest dude in the bunch. And it was so damn funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you bring it up, man. I was thinking about that the other day. Nothing became of it, right? It's like, and I had to grow up a little bit. I wish I would have been as focused into what we were doing as that other guy. I don't remember his name either. But he one had me dancing, So basically this dude was like, he was recreating New Edition back then.
Right.
And we were doing these steps, like doing I remember I'm playing basketball, having fun with my friends. I just remember him like, he was very serious about it. He was like, man, I wish I remember his name, but he was like, yo, man, like, you gonna do this, you need to take it serious, man. You don't be coming to practice. You gonna be showing up. And I was doing it for him. I was doing more for him. It wasn't as much for me.
Right.
It's for him, and because I just, and that's just how naive I was to the industry. I should have been doing it. I was really good. I was a really good singer even before I even moved out there because I won awards in choir. In Sunday choir, man, they used to have these national competitions, and I won like as a tenor. I can't do it. I suck now, but then I won these awards, and so I should have been utilizing that, but I wasn't. I was too young, having fun, being dumb. And so I wish I would have taken more serious. But yeah, I thought about that the other day, man. I was like, yeah, like we went to the studio, we were dancing and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh man.
I did rap. I did rap.
You did.
And I don't know if y'all remember this. Might have been. I don't think it's for y'all's time because King, you don't like what you're younger than me, right?
Yeah.
You're about 3 years younger than me, something like that, right?
I think I'm like 1 year behind you.
Well, I'm about to be 50, bro. Like
I'll be 49 next year.
Okay. Man, yeah, you up there, bro. You about 47. Well, you about 47, I'm guessing. 47?
46.
46, youngster. So you probably ain't gonna remember this, but remember in Mannheim they had that what was it called? Class competitions.
Yeah.
And then they do the rap. You had a rap battle. Like who all the different competitions in the rap battle. And Robert Gajardo,
Mm-hmm.
he played basketball too, but he used to beatbox. He's really good at beatboxing. We went out, we had that rap battle, and I forgot who all went in on the other team. I was a junior at the time. So the seniors, man, and I got out there and killed them. I slaughtered them. Me and Robert, we slaughtered them. We going around doing that for a while, man, just doing that, like just rapping. So, I had some lyrics.
Yeah, that
I
was fun.
wasn't freestyle. I had to write them, but I had some
Right.
good lyrics.
We call ourselves one Friday, I want to say, after school. It was me, you, King, my sister. I want to say a few more people. We call ourselves on the back out there, Travis, the white guy that lived underneath us.
Uh-huh.
We were out there, we were rapping, we were singing, doing everything. And then another group of Mannheimers from the opposite side of the train track came over and we were rap battling them. So I still remember that. It was so much fun.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Those
Man.
were the days, man.
Yeah,
But
man, they were,
Yeah.
man. And I remember, man, just like you guys living right above us, and your sister, man, Cassandra, and all us hanging out, man. I remember those days. Time just kind of flew on by, didn't it?
Yeah, man. That was over 30 years ago, man.
Over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And but doing this stuff I'm doing now, man, kind of bring out a little youthful energy in me, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
going on film set, just getting crazy, being silly. It kind of takes me back, and that's another thing I like about it.
Mhm.
Like sometimes I feel like a big kid, and so I'm not ready to change that anytime soon.
Heck no.
Cassandra said we had game nights.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Sure did.
that was stuff. It was good times, man. Good times.
But man, we just want to thank you for coming on the King in Our Life podcast, man. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, homie.
Yes.
Again, I just want to thank you for letting me hang out with you when I was growing up, because it was rough sometimes. You know why, but I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, man, my pleasure. And I wish we could do more of that these days. Life is life, But I appreciate, man, you guys reaching out to me, man, pulling me in and hanging out. And I
Yeah,
also think
definitely.
it's important, man. I think those reunions, man, are really important because if you want to go back and kind of relive some moments and make some connections, King and I, man, we've had a ball, man. It's something
Man.
we kicked it and had such a good time. We didn't even kick it that hard when we were in high school,
Nah.
Yeah.
Those reunions, man, they pull some other stuff out of you, man. You just kind of like everybody's kind of connect and reconnect, and it's like this brother sister, community. Everybody coming together, man, and just being there, And yeah, get on that, bro, when you get a chance.
Oh yeah.
For
And
sure.
remember that last time you came out here, man, we had a ball in
Oh,
DC.
yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Oh man, we had so much fun.
Man, we were all over the place. That was a good time, Atlanta too,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I need to get back out there though. Back out to DC.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So before we get up out of here, what would you like to tell your fans, and how can they get in contact with you? How can they follow you?
Okay. Well, fans. Well, okay. Things have been a little bit slow because of the industry. Things are starting to pick back up a little bit, which I'm really excited about. People calling me for opportunities. I'm taking a little break on the producing and directing right now because I want to refocus on my acting. So you're gonna see much more of that here pretty soon. I have people reaching out to me about projects that I can produce and direct, but I think I'm gonna lean more towards the acting stuff for a while. But I'm on IMDb. You can find me there, Jerry Bell Jr. Anything you Google with Jerry Bell Jr., you would probably find me. Um, especially the Swiffer ad, Jerry Bell Jr., Swiffer, or Swiffer Big Jerry. Also, my you can look me up. You can look me up on for Jerry Dash. What is it? I haven't looked at the site in a long time. JerryBellJr.com. That's my website. I might need to update it though. It's been a while. I kind of put everything on hold during the COVID, but JerryBellJr.com. You can always reach out to me at jbjrproductions.com. If you guys have any ideas for any productions, any film ideas, you have a script you want me to look at, I'll do it. I like looking out for my people. So especially people that acknowledge who I am and give me the recognition that I feel like I deserve over all the hustling I've been doing. I want to be able to give a little bit more back. So those are the key ways to reach me right now.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And again, it was a pleasure connecting with you, reminiscing, hearing you speak about your journey, your experiences, and continued success for you and Lil JB. It looks like you're going to be a bright star. So
For sure.
Definitely keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you getting big, bro. The boy's growing. It's good to see y'all, man. You guys grew up to be some handsome young lads.
Hey, we trying to follow in your footsteps.
That's it.
I get one of those T-shirts, man, for being a guest or what? Like,
hey, we got you. I got
For
you.
sure. Look out for it, definitely.
That's what's up, man.
But again, everybody, you guys can reach us, of course, at KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. All your major podcast platforms. Where else, King?
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. Like, subscribe, and share all of that because we got that heat for you. And definitely subscribe to the podcast, the audio podcast on whatever platform you choose. Thanks again to Jerry Bell Jr. for joining us tonight. And thanks for sticking in there with us once again.
Man, this was wonderful, man. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have me back one day soon.
Definitely want to have you back.
Yes.
Please keep us in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't even scratch the surface.
Oh, I know.
All right, man. All right, take care. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
no
you,
doubt.
sir.